Hi friend, I'm Dani Walker. I hope you're going to enjoy this episode because the stuff I'm going to be talking about today has made my life so much easier and so much more convenient. And if you like content like this, I hope that you're going to consider subscribing and hitting that notifications bell. So let's get right into it now with my first product. I used a lot of steamers when I was competing for pageants, and a lot of times I was trying to take big, bulky ones with me to hotels to steam gowns and wardrobe, and honestly, it was not very convenient at all. So I discovered tiny little travel steamers, and they're so much less expensive, and personally, they've lasted me longer. Here is one of my favorite ones, and I'm actually gonna show you a really quick hack. If you're using a steamer and the water is sort of spitting out, that does happen, and you don't want your garment to actually get wet, you'll take your steamer, put a washcloth over the top of it, and then get a hair tie or something to tie it around, and then you just steam your clothes, and this stops any of the water from getting on your garment. Easy, done. This is different from those little scrub gloves that you see at the store. They don't even look like they would get the job done, but they do. So I always use these gloves to exfoliate my skin before I apply any sunless tanners or mousses. Honestly, it's life-changing. And whenever my tan starts getting patchy, this is what I'll use to get any of that old product off or dead skin, and then I will re-tan and it looks beautiful. Now I look back and I'm like, why didn't I always have this? But the tanning mitt is used to apply any of your tanning products, and make sure that you get one that is lined in plastic, because if not, the product seeps through, it gets on your hand. I have had orange hands so many times and I didn't need to, and you don't need to either. So check it out, linked in the description. So check it out, it's linked in the description. Shoe insoles or pads or gels, whatever you want to call them, they are a lifesaver, and now I put them in all of my shoes. Make sure though you are using the ones that are specifically for heels, because they're going to be a lot more narrow and they're going to fit better into your shoe. Now sometimes I cannot fit the entire shoe gel into my shoe, so I will either cut it and make it fit into the shoe, or I will just use a smaller pad that goes right under the ball of your foot. But now I put them in every shoe. You will get so much more wear out of them, and I even now put them in my sneakers, which is a different type of shoe gel or shoe insole because it is a little bit wider and it's a little squishier. Wow, E6000 truly changed my life. I started using E6000 to rhinestone gowns, and then I found out that you can use it for jewelry and pretty much anything else. I used E6000 a ton for pageants, but now I use it in my everyday life all the time. Whenever a little piece of jewelry falls apart, the hold is incredible. And what I love about E6000 that you won't get with a super glue or with other types of glues is that it dries clear, versus if you try putting super glue onto a piece of jewelry, it will dry and it'll be clear, but it's cloudy and you can really see it. But E6000 is amazing, and what's cool is when you get it onto any other products like jewelry, if you sort of smeared it a little here or there, you can actually peel off the sections that you don't want. So it's weird. The hold is incredible, but it's still sort of soft at the end and jelly. I don't know if I'm describing that the best way, but get some. If you like this episode so far, don't forget to subscribe. Also give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. This is something that I feel like I also have just because I enjoy sewing, but this has saved so many of my outfits. You know when you get those little pulls on things and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? It's snagged. Oh no. Don't cut it. No, don't cut it. So you can use this knit picker, and basically it's like a latch hook. So you stick it through the clothing, you grab that little piece that's snagged, that's sticking out, you pull it to the inside of your clothing, then you can knot it and then cut it off. So this thing is life-changing. It's about like this big. It's so tiny, and I always had it in my pageant kit. It saved me so many times. Woo, another thing that I discovered when my feet were blistered and killing me. Liquid bandage is incredible. It's one of my favorite things ever. I always travel with this, and honestly, to me, I think it works a lot better than Band-Aids do. So you can either apply liquid bandage as a preventative measure. So sometimes I would put it on any parts of my skin that would get irritated from shoes, or if you already have a blister, you can apply it there, or a small cut. And it's sort of waterproof. It does come off a little bit, but it does work really, really well. It will sting when you put it on, so be careful of that. Be sure to take lots of deep breaths, but it's amazing. And it sells out a lot when I try to go get it at stores. So for example, I'll look for it at like Target and it's usually sold out. So I'm linking it in the description so you can purchase this online instead, because it's disappointing when you try to go pick it up and it's just gone. A wet brush is amazing, and it's a really big part of hair care because it's going to help to prevent a lot of damage. I see a lot of contestants, they're just ripping through their hair, they're teasing it. Your hair goes through a lot, but it's very, very fragile. So you need to treat it very well, and a wet brush is the way that I do that. I actually have one right here, and this one's a little bit different because there are holes in the back. So this is more for when you want to blow dry your hair. But the other wet brush that I always carry with me, it doesn't have the holes in the back. It's like a paddle brush, and it's amazing because the bristles are so soft and bendy, and they don't rip through your hair, but they brush it and they still detangle it. It's brilliant, and I'm obsessed with it. And this is one of the reasons that my hair can stay looking pretty healthy even though it's going through a lot of styles and cut and coloring, all those things that are happening. It's because of this. It's because I'm not ripping out my hair and creating more split ends and more damage to it. Smooth Sexy Hair Shine Spray is literally everything, because I love to have beautiful, shiny, straight hair, or beautiful, shiny, curled hair, which I'm sure many of you are like, yes, I want that too. And I have tried using different shine sprays in the past, but they're usually in a little pump bottle, and they don't work very well. They really don't. They end up being too heavy, and you get these droplets, and then your clean hair suddenly looks dirty, oily, and greasy. But just a little spritz of this spray, oh my gosh, it's just perfection. It's perfect. It just makes your hair look like you came out of the salon, and I'm obsessed with it, and I used it on so many different appearances, and I still use it to this day for any special events. Oh my gosh, I'm totally obsessed with this. So the way that I use butter bronzer is literally all over my face and my neck. So it creates this really soft blend of my neck to my makeup. And then the best part is that it will take away any of the white flashback. So if you like to contour and highlight your face, but you don't want to have that flashback, I just take a little bit on a blush brush and I brush it under my eyes. I know it sounds weird applying a bronzer underneath your eyes. I know it sounds crazy, but it does work. I'm wearing it right now, and you can see I still have lightness under my eyes. It's not totally going to take away any of your highlight, but it's incredible. It's literally though buttery soft. It's not like a cream. It's not like a super chunky powder that falls apart. It's right in the middle. It smells really good, and it's very, very subtle. So it's not gonna be a bronzer that you would use for a really harsh contour. It's not gonna give you that type of definition, but it is going to give you this really soft overall look. And I love that it doesn't have a ton of glitter in it. Ugh, a lot of glitter, but it's also not completely matte. It's like right in the middle, and it just gives you this really nice healthy glow. And I cover my whole face in it, and my neck and my chest when I do my makeup. So I'm absolutely obsessed. I wear the color bronzer, but they do have colors for fairer skin, and then they do have darker colors as well. So check that out. I hope you enjoyed this episode, because these are literally the products I use every single week in my life, or for any time that I'm doing a special event or filming. And they're the things that really, really stick out in my mind that I took away from pageantry. So I'm super excited about them, and I hope that you try them out and that you love them too. So I'm super excited about them, and I hope that you enjoy them too. I will link all of them in the description below. I hope that you enjoy them. If you do, leave me a comment or send me a DM. Let me know what you think of them. And if you want to see lots more episodes like this, then you can find them in my beauty and fashion playlist, which I will link in the description. If you watch my channel regularly, you know that I am a pageant coach. So if you need a little bit of extra help for your next competition, just click the description. You'll find a link to my free pageant prep course. Thanks for watching this episode, and I hope to see you next time.